Hey, this is Andy from justification. All right, so we're down in the basement, and I've got way too much going on. This is what is left of the V, the little race car that I'm building. There's the front axle off of it. So I gotta figure out if I'm gonna keep this front axle or go with maybe something a little later model, but the frame was totally rusted out, so I'm having my welder build me a new frame and then we'll put that back together. So I got all these V parts. I still got the little Mini I'm putting together. I'm waiting for Tommy to finish up my tank so I can finish that. I mean, holy crap, I got a lot. And then we got this. It's taking up the most space. I got to get on back on the boat. So I got the front 4 left to cut out. Actually, I think the front 4 is cut out. It is. So I got to get that out of there. I got to get the foam out. And then I got to start working on the transom. I got to get rid of the transom. So the problem with this particular brand, it's a lot of brands. There's not a lot of older boats out there that do not have water in them. And water gets into the wood that is what is fiberglassed over, and they get wet. And it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but it makes them super heavy. So if you have a boat that was 1,500 pounds, it becomes 2,500 pounds, which means you need 150 more horsepower to drive at the same speed. So this transom is totally rotten. You can see water down in there. Like if you see down in there, you can see how dark it is. And that's water. And another way to tell if there's water in the transom is you get this handy little water meter. And 30% water in there. 30% water in there. Nothing on the sides. Here, we're good. Here, we're not so good. So then we go down to the stringers, and this is like the frame of a car. It's a frame of a boat. So my stringers are all showing to have water in them. So they're not full, but they do have moisture in them. So while I'm this far into it, I'm gonna cut out the stringers, I'm gonna take out the wood, and keep in mind I've never done this before, so I'm winging it, watching YouTube videos. And I'm gonna replace it with a product called Kusa. And Kusa is basically PVC instead of wood. So it'll never get saturated with water again. It'll be twice as strong, and it'll be twice as light. So this boat, which came with 175 horsepower, I'll drop something like a 350 or 400 on it, and hopefully we'll haul ass around the bay. All right, so the reason I am doing this is I like restoring old things and bringing them back to new. And this boat, brand new, is well over 100 grand. So I bought this boat from Copart, I think for 500 bucks. I towed it from New Jersey. Super sketchy bringing this thing home. It barely fit on the back of the truck, but I got it home. And for me, it's a labor of love. I'll have, I don't know, with the engine on the back, maybe I'll have 20 grand in this boat. The boat will be worth 50 if I wanted to sell it, because it will be better than brand new, because it will have a Kusa stringer system and transom, and it'll have a kick-ass motor on it, and it'll be a great bay boat. They're not ocean-going boats, but it's great for shooting around the bay, which is exactly what I want. So another thing they did way back when is they put foam in a boat. As you can see, they put the floor on top, and then they filled everything with foam. So if the boat ever got waterlogged, it wouldn't sink totally. The problem is, back then they didn't have foam that didn't absorb the water, which is why the wood got soaked in water, because the water just gets held in the foam. So I got to cut all the foam out, and now you put in a different kind of foam, which is water resistant. So I'm having my buddy build me a brand new gas tank to put in here, and then I'll foam that in, and then I'll foam the sides. And I'm going to redesign the back the way I want it. Like this one had little coolers or fish boxes on the side. I think I'm going to get rid of those, so you can just like walk around in the back and have tons of room. I might do a live well right here so we can catch some live fish, but I'm going to build it the way I want to build it, and it should last me the rest of my life. So whoever owned this boat before kept it in the water, and you have to put anti-fouling paint on it when it's in the water, which really sucks for me, because you can see what you have to do to get the freaking anti-fouling tape off the whole boat. You gotta scrape it all because I'm gonna have it on a boat lift. And it's all gotta be nice and smooth. So I got a lot of work to do on the bottom. So in my last video, I think you guys saw a boat end up at the junkyard, and I said, I hate boats. So let me rephrase that because I know I'm gonna hear about it in the comments below. I don't hate boats, I hate boats at the junkyard because they make a mess. And obviously this is at my house and it's making a mess. At the junkyard you make a mess, nothing is recyclable, and it just goes everywhere. Here, at least it's semi-controlled. I have a vacuum, I have masks, and I put everything into trash bags and get rid of it the right way. So I wanted to make that perfectly clear. I love boats and boating. I just hate them at the junkyard. So this is the foam. This is what becomes waterlogged. This is what I gotta take out. So I'm tired of working on this boat, so now it's time to put the young buck to work. And Ari needs to start going to work, and let's see how good a job she does and how hard a worker she is. Because right now, the way it looks, this is gonna take a long time. You have to get the foam out, Ari, like right where you are. Scrape that foam. Like imagine it's a piece of chocolate. There you go. That was a Hershey bar you just popped out of there. Ari loves chocolate, if you guys haven't figured it out.
Is this foam?
That's foam. You're busting up the foam. See, that whole thing is foam. So that's what happens. The foam gets wet, it makes the fiberglass wet, and then it makes the wood inside the fiberglass get wet, which makes the whole boat heavier. So, you gotta bust up the foam.
I feel like I'm missing the technique.
Well, you have to develop your own technique. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. You know, you can pick the foam up with your hand. What's that look for?
You're asking a lot from me.
This is why Ari makes the big bucks. She's still waiting for that paycheck to come through, by the way. Come on, girl. Look at all that water coming out of there. There you go. That's right. See, now look at all that water. That's the problem. That's how a boat gets waterlogged.
This has been sitting inside for how long?
This has been sitting inside for 3 or 4 months. And it's 70 degrees in here. There should not be this much water in here. Look at that. That's ridiculous. My hands are wet. Got a long way to go. Safe to say that I'm gonna have to replace these pipes since I've probably put holes in them. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe. You're gonna see a lot more about this boat because this is my winter project.